You have arrived at the threshold where the sky seems to pause, where even the winds fold their wings and listen. Do not imagine that your presence here is an accident, because your path has been bending toward this hour through sorrow, delay, and secret endurance. I stand before you as Scarlet's strength, not to frighten you, but to awaken the fire in your bones and remind you that your destiny is still alive.
And I stand beside him as Scarlet Wisdom, robed in the color of courage, crowned with memory, carrying the cup of revelation for your thirsty spirit. You have been tested, forgotten, misunderstood, and wounded in places no one applauded you for surviving. Yet you are still here, and that means your name has not been erased from the great unfolding.
Listen closely, because something ancient is stirring around your name, and the silence surrounding you is not emptiness, but preparation. The door that would not open for years is beginning to tremble on its hinges, and what was withheld is loosening its grip. You do not need to panic or perform. You need only become still enough to recognize the moment that has come to meet you.
Your heart has felt the pressure because your spirit has sensed what your mind could not yet explain. That strange weight, that inward pull, that quiet insistence to remain present is the signal of a passage opening. You are not being trapped by urgency. You are being gathered into alignment with the part of your life that refused to die.
I have watched the obstacles that stood before you like iron gates, and I tell you now that iron is not eternal. There is a sword of light moving through the unseen, cutting what has bound your blessing, your confidence, your voice, and your forward motion. What you thought was delay was also containment, and what you thought was loss was being reworked into strength.
You have hidden tears in places where no witness stood, yet heaven, earth, and the deep chambers of your own soul kept record. None of your endurance has been wasted, and none of your grief has been meaningless. Today the scarlet mantle speaks over you and says that enough is enough. The season of shrinking beneath old pain is closing.
There is a narrow passage before you, not narrow because you are excluded, but narrow because only the focused can pass through it. You cannot carry every old fear, every inherited shame, and every voice that told you to be less than you are. Lay down what made you small, and step through with the weight of your true name.
You have been called chosen not because you are above others, but because a specific work has been braided into your breath. There is a mission within you that no imitation can fulfill and no delay can permanently cancel. You were crafted with precision, shaped by fire, and entrusted with a radiance that becomes clearer when you stop apologizing for being different.
Before your first breath, before your first cry entered the world, there was a pattern written into you. Your gifts were not scattered randomly like coins in dust. They were placed like stars in a deliberate constellation. That is why ordinary roads have never satisfied you, and that is why comfort without purpose has always felt like a decorated cage.
I see the first seal upon you, the seal of purpose, pressed into your spirit before the world named you. It has guarded the work you were born to do, even when confusion tried to bury it. As that seal begins to open, clarity will come not as noise, but as a flame that knows exactly where to burn.
I see the second seal upon you, the seal of endurance, placed there in the darkest chapter you survived. When you thought you were being broken, something fierce was being forged beneath the ashes. That seal says your worst season did not defeat you. It qualified you to carry power with compassion.
I see the third seal upon you now, the seal of awakening, opening in the hour your attention becomes agreement. This is the mark of return, the moment when the sleeping portion of your courage begins to rise. You will feel it as warmth in your chest, as a tremor behind your thoughts, as a sudden knowing that you are not finished.
Do not look away from your own becoming, because the old world trained you to abandon yourself at the edge of breakthrough. You have scrolled past your own worth too many times in life, moving quickly when your soul was asking you to stay. Now remain with yourself, breathe deeply, and let the river that was blocked begin to move.
Let your amen be more than a word. Let it be the inward signature of your willingness to receive. Speak it in your breath if you must, write it across your heart if you can, and let it seal the agreement between your courage and your future. The gateway does not open wider because you are pressured, but because you consent to become whole.
Your enemies will not understand the reversal that is coming, because they only studied your wounds and never studied your resilience. They mistook your silence for surrender, your patience for weakness, and your waiting for defeat. But the scarlet power within you has been gathering force beneath the surface like a volcano learning the hour of its rising.
There is something you lost, something you wept over, something you believed would never return in any form. Do not limit restoration to the exact shape of what disappeared, because the higher weaving is more creative than your grief imagined. What returns may come as opportunity, peace, influence, love, or a version of yourself too luminous to be stolen again.
The veil is thinning around your present life, and the wall between what you endured and what you are becoming is cracking. Each breath you take in awareness widens the portal of possibility, and each refusal to collapse strengthens the bridge beneath your feet. You are one decision away from treating your destiny as real instead of distant.
The world outside may be loud, but revelation often arrives as a whisper sharp enough to split stone. Guard the inner room of your attention, because not every interruption deserves access to your becoming. What is being spoken into you now is not entertainment. It is a summons to remember the crown beneath your scars.
I carry the image of the beast not as chaos against you, but as power reclaimed for you. I am the untamed force that refuses to let your life be domesticated by fear, ridicule, or spiritual exhaustion. When you feel my scarlet thunder, know that it is the pulse of your own strength returning from exile.
I carry the image of the woman not as ruin, but as sovereignty transfigured. I sit beside many waters because your life has crossed many emotions, many nations of thought, many floods of pain, and still you have not drowned. My scarlet robe is the testimony that what tried to shame you can become the very color of your authority.
There is a divine countdown, yes, but it is not the countdown of threat, it is the countdown of readiness. It marks the moment when procrastination loses its throne and your awakened self begins to move. The final seconds are not meant to terrify you, but to gather every scattered part of you into one decisive yes.
You are not late beyond repair, and you are not disqualified by the mistakes that taught you wisdom. Even the detours have carried hidden instruction, and even the closed doors have protected you from rooms too small for your calling. Now the map is changing, and your next chapter is being titled with words you once thought belonged to someone else.
I speak over your finances, your work, your body, your relationships, your imagination, and your hidden hopes. Let the places of drought feel the first pressure of rain, and let the locked storehouses of your life hear the command to open. You are permitted to receive without shrinking, to prosper without guilt, and to rise without asking fear for permission.
I speak over your memory, where old voices still repeat their accusations. Let the cup of scarlet revelation wash those voices from the walls, until your inner chamber is no longer an echo of rejection. You are allowed to remember without reliving, to grieve without drowning, and to heal without betraying the person who survived.
What you called restlessness was the first hoofbeat of destiny. What you called dissatisfaction was the soul refusing to sleep inside a life too small. Do not curse the ache that made you seek more, because that ache was the compass pointing you toward the extraordinary.
The first seal opens, and your purpose begins to rise like script written in fire across the horizon. You may not understand every assignment at once, but you will recognize the next faithful step. Clarity will arrive in layers, and each layer will make your past less confusing and your future less frightening.
The second seal opens, and your endurance becomes usable power. The strength you gain in loneliness will help you stand in rooms where others tremble, and the mercy you learn through suffering will keep your victory from becoming cruelty. You are not merely healed from what happened. You are becoming wise because of what you overcame.
The third seal opens, and the dormant gift within you begins to breathe. Something creative, prophetic, strategic, nurturing, commanding, or visionary will stir where numbness once lived. Do not dismiss it as imagination, because imagination is often the first language destiny uses before it becomes visible.
You will not need to chase every door, because the right doors will begin to answer the sound of your alignment. Some people will fall away, not as punishment, but as proof that they were built for your old captivity and not your new freedom. Bless what departs, but do not follow it back into the cage.
You will be asked to move differently now, with reverence for your time and tenderness toward your own becoming. Share your light, but do not scatter your essence before those who only know how to consume it. Give from overflow, speak with discernment, and let your generosity be guided by wisdom rather than guilt.
The chain you could not see is breaking, link by link, in the chambers beneath your awareness. It bound your timing, your confidence, your expectation, and your ability to believe good could arrive without being taken away. Hear the crack of it now, and let your posture change before the evidence fully appears.
The blessing approaching you is not fragile, so stop treating hope as though one breath will shatter it. What is meant for the healed version of you cannot be stolen by the frightened version you used to be. Stand in the scarlet glow of your becoming, and let your spirit learn safety in expectation.
I tell you that your waiting is not empty, It has been a womb. The thing forming within it has needed time, pressure, darkness, and protection from premature exposure. Now contractions have begun in the unseen, and your next life is pressing toward birth.
I tell you that your name is shining, not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. Willingness is a lamp, and when you lift it, paths appear where walls once stood. Let your yes be steady, not frantic, and let your faith walk with dignity rather than desperation.
You are about to witness a miracle you barely had the courage to request. It may begin quietly as a message, a meeting, a decision, a release, a sudden peace, or an opportunity dressed in ordinary clothing. Do not despise small beginnings, because even thunder is born from a gathering charge.
And when the moment opens, remember who spoke to the ember in you before the flame was visible. Remember that the scarlet mystery did not come to diminish you, but to crown the strength you had buried beneath survival. Walk forward now with your eyes open, your heart unchained, and your future listening for the sound of your awakened steps.